Hey everyone, it's Coeval here. Today I decided to post this quick 7 Grassy game. I think it's a great, riveting, high-octane, intense matchup, and it's the summer, so as you all know, what better time to grind Arcanists endlessly for hours and hours and sink my teeth into a 20-year-old game that I used to play as like a 13-year-old. So here we are, and we're just going to get a little glimpse of the 7 Grassy / 10 Grassy meta. This is not going to be a game where we're going to the sides and flight prodding and flashing out land for 45 turns before we agree to a draw and then agree that we also wasted our time. This is going to be a matchup that is breathtaking, I might say so myself. So here, what we've got is flight prot turn 1. I do have Frost Arrow in this book. I am looking to rush Machine, and he's also looking to rush me, which, as you'll see, that's a common strategy. These rush books are very difficult to beat, and in some cases don't require skill to execute, although skill really helps to get a huge advantage on your opponent. But it's not always needed to do all these lobs and crazy, risky plays. And so here I'm not in Frost Arrow range, so I just flight prot. Now I didn't quite go to the top of the map, the border. That would have been best because if he muds me, I can't tower. And you'll see this is common in rush books is to flight prot and go to the top border. That's because if the opponent responds with a mud ball, then they can blast from the past out and jump off above the border and back into the middle of the map. And so that's why you'll see Machine flight and prot on turn 1. With these rush books too, these OA style rush books, OA is a prominent rusher in the community, he'll flight prot turn 1 whether he gets the first turn or the second turn, just because he doesn't care if he gets deflighted. He has to try to engage the opponent. He can't go defensive at all. And so here, of course, I've got Frost Arrow to counter Machine's rush, because playing generic against this book is like a death sentence. It's very difficult. But Machine here, this little conniving guy, he ran Flame Shield and Rush. That's like two sides of completely different coins on the exact opposite ends of the spectrum. Flame Shield is like what you take in a super defensive, like Flame Shield plus generic portal book, right? Where you just, go to the side of the map, summon your Pegasus, and drain it for 70 turns. But here, Machine is bringing Rush and Flame Shield. He's saying, okay, I'm going to rush you, and you can't rush me back because I've got Flame Shield. But I say, well, I've also got this spell, Blast from the Past. And you'll see I just cancel it, and then I throw the Mud Ball. And he's going to tower out, right? And so I've got a rush book, and I'm thinking I should go down and Pebble. But for a split second, I thought, okay, well, he's got Flame Shield, I can't engage him. But then I thought again, well, I have a rush book, so what am I doing? But because I scooted over to the left a couple pixels or whatever, now I'm at 4 seconds at this point. 3, 2, 1, and I Q here. And so I would have just been great if I just from the start hit enter, go down, pebble him. Directly pebble. You can do that if you're not kind of in this like upper range, this kind of semicircle, then the Flame Shield won't activate. If you hit him from here down where I'm pinging, then or from below, then it won't trigger the shield here. So then he comes out with this spell. Do you guys recognize this? Consume Soul. Look at those little neat icons there. Kind of a sweet animation, if I say so myself. Consume Soul here. I had 50 prot and a flight. We're going to take a look at what is this spell. It's from the new book Necromancy. If you guys have not seen my breakdown of the book of Necromancy, I'll put a card in the top right. Be sure to go ahead and check that out. Here it is, Consume Soul. Targeted 30 damage. Infinite use, 2 turns. There's no, it's not turn gated, I guess is a term I made up, which means you can use it on turn 1. There's no delay. Drain the soul of a target, healing for the damage dealt. For each dispellable effect the target has, the damage is increased by 15. So, base 30 damage. Drain the soul of a target, healing for the damage dealt. Base 30 damage to the opponent, base 30 heal to the user. For each dispellable effect the target has, the damage is increased by 15. Dispellable effects: Gravity, Flame Shield, Protection Shield, Storm Shield, Flight, a whole host of other shields that I'm forgetting. Wind Shield. Let's do a quick scan. Any others? Not that are coming to mind. Let me know if I missed any in the comments. Maybe Retribution, potentially? I think that's dispellable. Not 100% sure, but possible there. So what you get here then is on a Flight Prot user, 15 for Flight, 15 for Prot, plus 30 base, 60 damage, plus 60 healing. So if you get within, and get this guys, if you get within this range, look at this range, if I can take control. Look at this. Look at this giant range that you have. This is just insane. You can do through terrain. Through terrain, let's say I'm down here, you know, at the bottom of the map. He can't get to me. 7 seconds, point and click, boom. If I've got 2 prots and a flight, he does 75 damage to me. 75. And then, get this, 2 turns later, he can do another 60 if I still have a prot and I still am flying. That's 135 damage in 2 turns without even needing to engage. It's like a Whisper Bomb Sanctuary, like deflight mechanic. It's pretty ridiculous. And yes, I get it. It's ridiculous only against flighted players, right? But that's one of the counters to Rush, is to run some, you know, more defensive, generic type of book. But what I'm finding out is that it doesn't really exactly it doesn't really exactly counter Rush that well. What you need to do is just run your own Rush book. So anyway, it has this giant summon range, so he's in the tower, he's able to deflight me, and we're going to get on with this game. I'll stop yapping. So he hits me with the Consumed Soul, and then I get the Pebble off. You notice that it was under that little top semicircle of range that I showed you that Flame Shield deters projectiles, and we'll see he's positioning for a nice Shock Bomb. He has pretty good aim with Shock Bomb. You can notice that you have to really soften your aim with that, and basically the Shock Bomb has to stop at the very apex of your shot to be able to stick on the opponent. So I hit him with the mushrooms, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I can just respond with a nice soft mega. Of course, the last bounce right here, the last bounce misses, hits me. I'm like, God, I am good with Mega Boulder. Why is it betraying me like this? This is some BS. And another point, BFTP. BFTP is like the ultimate match killer. Like, you'd think, oh, it takes a slot, you know, it's not worth it. BFTP, to reposition your opponent into 120,000 damage mega, is just an auto win for you. So what do you mean, you know, like, you know, it using a slot, like, it is a viable spell. It doesn't just, you know, waste up a slot. And that's not something that people have said. I'm just kind of proposing, like, you know, if one were to argue that, oh, well, you know, if you take BFTP, you can't take other spells that would be valuable, it can just straight out, flat out win you the game. And as you'll see here, I mean, what am I supposed to do? He gets the perfect mega, by the way, just drops it on my head. 27 health I'm at. What do I have to do? BFTP him, pop my mushrooms, go over in good positioning, hit extend right out about this angle where I'm pinging, and then knock him off the map. Clutch flash, but I don't know if that helps with my chances necessarily. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So here I hit mushrooms again, and you might be wondering, what are you doing, Coeval? What I was doing, which I'll show you, is misclicking. Now, it'll make some sense if I take control here, and you'll notice that Deluge is right next to Protection Shield. So I probably was just like, right, I don't remember exactly where my cursor was. You know, I don't have that type of memory, okay? You know, give me a break. But I probably was right about there and just barely misclicked Deluge instead of my protection shield, and I had my cursor right here. So what does that mean? Well, it means I deluged myself and lost my flight, which I just barely used. So now it's out for like, I think I used it a couple turns ago, so it's out for like four more turns. And I have Prot because I misclicked, so I wasn't able to hit it. But, I mean, it's looking very grim. He's out of Frost Arrow range. I have Deluge, but he has Flame Shield. I have Blast from the Past. However, any sort of lob is going to be virtually impossible to hit from this range. So, the sensible man that Machine is, he goes for the Flame Shield, and here I should Mushrooms, but I am high on adrenaline at this point. I'm like, okay, you know what? I think I could possibly lob a BFTP, right? And so I'm going to go for that. And it just, I wouldn't call that narrowly missed. It misses by a decent margin. BFTP though, hard to aim. By that I mean, if I take control here again, if you just tick over like that much, the BFTP will go a pretty decent amount further. And so you have to be very knowledgeable about how it flies. It's a very light projectile, and so I probably was out in this range. That's too far, but you have to tilt it, and yeah, let me zoom in so you can see. Yeah, so I probably was closer to out here, and I need to aim maybe like closer to there. And I'll zoom out and try it, but I don't know, maybe like this? No, even that is like way far. So that's where I was. That's where I was, and where I should have aimed is like probably super vertical. Like that? Even that, it's like that's pretty far for just like very small adjustment. So that's what you have to be cognizant of when you are aiming BFTP. Super difficult. I wanted to pop my mushrooms as well, but it's 7 Grassy. I don't have much hope left, and so what's the only option? Let me know in the comments if you guys see this. There's one move, and there's pretty much virtually no way that it will it would work at all. But you might as well go for it, right? So I toss the Mega. What? Oh my god! I can't even believe that I hit that. We gotta watch that again, guys. Holy crap, that was insane. I don't think I've ever hit anything like that. I'm going way too far. Okay, check this out. What is that? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. This is thumbnail material right here. Holy crap. What you have to do is literally what I did right there. Toss the Mega directly above Machine's head so that the Flame Shield stops it, but it doesn't deflect it. It doesn't deflect it out to the side, right? It just stops it and just suspends the Mega in midair. And then after 3 seconds, boom! GG. Logging off, never play an Arcanist again. Drop a like and subscribe for that epic Mega Boulder. Hope you all enjoyed this. See you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.